Welcome to Builder Buzz by Home Nation, where we bring in builders, developers, and everyday investors to talk about one of America's biggest opportunities, affordable housing. We'll talk about real costs, explosive growth, big mistakes, and tough lessons you won't learn anywhere else. Whether you're building homes, buying land, or just building big ideas, this podcast is for you.
Hello, everyone. Today I'm sitting down with Larry Falls with ACP, that's Associated Construction Products. But Larry wants to talk about a different construction company called Moladi. They're based out of Africa, and they have a proprietary sort of building system similar to ICF homes, but different, where the forms don't stay on after you pour the mix into the cell. So it's a different way of building. It's more affordable, a lot quicker. It reduces the trades that are required, reduces the skill set required to put it all up. Just really interesting system. I haven't heard about it before. So if you also haven't heard about it, which likely haven't because they're not in the US yet, they're just getting started, you're going to learn a lot. Encourage you to tune in. I love hearing innovative products. And I think with the Moladi building system, they're onto something.
Hi, I'm Larry Falls, and about 40 years ago, I started a business called Associated Construction Products. I started the business as an independent manufacturer's rep agency, obviously for products for the construction industry. And the reason I called it Associated was that anything and everything that went into construction, I wanted to be repping for it. And about a year and a half after starting my rep business, I actually started installing the products. And over the past, excuse me, you're going to ask something there?
No, good. No, I'm listening.
Okay. So over the past 40 years, we built the business up pretty strong. And about 10 years ago, I started a succession plan where one individual that started with me as a laborer ended up becoming a 50-50 partner with me in the business. And then about 5 years ago, him and I started selling our stock to two individuals that his dad and his grandpa worked with me on my very first project. And the other one is he came into the picture with my business partner as his stepson when he was only 3 years old. And now the two of them, they're in their mid-30s. And they about 3 months ago, they bought out the rest of my stock in the business. And yeah, so it's really exciting how the succession plan came together and how they've grown the business. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. But yeah, it's all related to mostly to site development, new site development with the retaining walls and underground storm vault systems, geosynthetic liners and pavers. And we started an outdoor living division for all these apartment complexes. We do a lot of that work right now. But excuse me, I'm not kind of interrupting you there. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt you. Go ahead.
So about 10 years ago, I was introduced to a new product. It wasn't new. It was new to me. A product out of South Africa, a company called Moladi. That's Moladi. And Moladi manufactures a form system for casting homes, and it's really awesome. When I really got into, when I first looked at it, I thought, no, that's not a product for here in the U.S. because of the way the whole system worked, the way I was looking at it. But about 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, I started taking a different look at it because of our housing market, the way that it's been going. And this product is really designed to be a affordable product for manufacturing homes and multifamily and commercial. It's a form system that you set up. It's a reusable form system that you put it in place. You fill the cells full of a modified mortar mix, which is a very high strength, very thermal efficient, fire resistant, earthquake resistant, fireproof, you name it, it's in there. I mean, it's got all the bases covered. And so that's the product that's the product I want to get in to talk about that, along with some goals of what I have with.
So you said because what you were doing before was not housing necessarily. It was that site prep, the development, and probably mostly like commercial jobs, probably not too many residential, I would imagine. As far as like single family residences, ACP probably did more of maybe apartment complexes or commercial buildings or maybe even roadways. Would that be right?
Yeah, we weren't building, we weren't constructing any homes or that.
No.
The stuff that we did
Hmm.
was all related mostly to commercial
Hmm.
and DOT work for the geosynthetic liners, lake liners,
Yeah.
the underground storm vault systems, retaining walls. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But,
There you go.
but at one point, I had actually started a home building division separate from ACP, and that was really starting to do pretty good until the market crashed back in
Yeah.
2007.
Yeah.
That kind of ended that venture.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's pretty unrelated to now with Moladi. That sounds like new construction residential homes, single family residences. And you said you had an interest because you saw how the housing market was going. Can you tell me a bit more about that? Why you had an interest and why now you're shifting focus to something that's not quite related to what you were doing before?
Yes, Moladi is a system that it's a plastic form system, lightweight form system that erect the system with your rebar, of course, inside of your forms, your plumbing chases, your electrical chases, all inside your formwork. You fill your forms with this Moladi modified mortar material, and that's all your interior walls, exterior walls. You can do your ceilings with it. We actually have designed right now for two projects. One for a multifamily 3-story using the Moladi system for 336 apartment affordable housing, workforce housing units. And another project that we have designed 4-story with using the system, and it's
Wow.
yeah, it 544 units on this site.
So, all right, tell me about that. How are you involved with that? And where are these projects at?
The projects are here in Florida.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to get into mentioning the county right now, but they are.
That's okay. No, that's fine.
They're here in Florida,
Mhm.
and we will be the developer slash builder on it. And it's, like I said, it's designed to be affordable workforce housing.
Yeah.
Smaller units. It's all concrete. All of our,
Yeah.
from the floor slab, all the interior walls, exterior walls,
Yeah.
your ceiling slash floor for your next units. We have
Yeah. So,
designed. Go ahead.
I want to talk about how this is designed and how the system works. I've been looking on their website while you've been speaking.
Great.
But first, I'm trying to make sure. So, what you're doing here in Florida, is that ACP is doing this?
No.
Okay, different. Is this a different company that you own, or just in partnership with someone? Or
I partnered with the owner of Moladi out of South Africa.
okay,
We're putting together to be 50-50 partners for Moladi, Florida. Yeah.
okay, great.
Yes. And
Does
excuse me. Go ahead.
I was going to say, does Moladi operate in states, or are they just this is their first foray into the U.S.?
This is their first entrance into the United States, although
Wow.
California has recently designated about 50 acres of property for a project there, and he's been talking with the military and several other ones. But the Moladi system is currently being used in 27 different countries, and manufacturing set up in a few locations for manufacturing the form system. With you on site, you'll probably see how those are, light plastic system that, it's amazing. And it is designed for empowering these different countries to be able to go in and build safe, secure housing with using the local materials there. And what's really awesome with this, Quentin, is that your interior, you don't use any drywall on them. You have to come in and put up any flooring strips and additional insulation. We have an R20 and a value on the exterior 6-inch walls. And then You set all your interior walls. You set up your forms. You when you pour when your forms, you're actually filling up your interior walls and exterior walls at the same time.
Yeah.
And all
Yeah.
all one monolithic pour. And when you strip your forms the next day and you do a nice rub out finish on them,
Yeah.
the projects, if you go through and you look at the website, you'll see in
I am looking.
the inside of some of the finished products, it looks like just drywall or um, a nice product. You rub them, do a nice finish, paint them, and you're all
Yeah.
yeah.
So when I see this, my first thing that came to mind was, oh, ICF. But with ICF, the insulated concrete forms, that you keep those forms. The forms stay with it.
Correct.
It's, you fill up cells with concrete. This is a similar idea, except the forms come off.
Correct.
Oh.
And the mixture that is used in the mix is what gives you your thermals to it. And so it's in your finished product. It's a nice rubbed out finish, and away you go. One of the nice with this being in a complex, you're not going to have people poking holes through your walls. So yeah, it's
No, this is great. I'm looking through photos of this as you're talking. The gallery on Moladi's website, and this looks good. I looks drywall on the inside. To me, I couldn't tell any different.
correct.
They must be doing a lot of these in Africa.
They are.
Yeah.
They'll go to a village that and it's totally different there than it is here when it comes to that, because when I visited over to Moladi there in South Africa a few months ago, and you go around some of these villages that are just all the old tin shacks, hundreds of them on a hillside, and we don't kind of living here. Of course, now we have people living in tents on the streets, but which is a shame. But so my with Quinton is twofold.
Yeah.
One, I belong to an organization called Man Up and Go, and Go. They work within the foster care system. Our goal within there is to end fatherlessness throughout the United States. And what's amazing is that we have like 25% fatherlessness in homes.
Yeah.
Yeah, in other countries, they're like 3, 4, or 5%. Why are we so high? But so the foster care system, the young men and the women, they age out of there at age 18. And Man Up and Go, on their staff, they have individuals that work with the young youth, the men, and they have a part of that works with the fathers that are working to turn their lives around. We feel that with this Moladi system, if you look at how it's designed and how it's being used in other places now, we feel that we can go in and start training these young men on how to get involved in the construction industry, because the construction industry is an incredibly huge market that people don't even think about, with, all the way from people that are manufacturing materials that go into it, supplying materials, engineers, surveyors, all your contractors, just such an opportunity. And we feel that we can start taking these young men and the fathers that are wanting to turn their lives around and use this system to go in and start building homes affordably, not just the multifamily stuff, but really starting to focus on the single family and maybe quadplexes and so forth with them. But it's the Man Up team. We're working with them to structure how we're going to work that with them. And Man Up currently has locations here in the Tampa Bay area. Just started a new location in Ohio. There's a location in Missouri, and then a location in Uganda right now. But Man Up is wanting to have a chapter in as cities and states as they can throughout the U.S. And it's really of what they have. if you get a chance to look that up, Man Up and Go. It's
Yeah.
so by combining the two systems together, we feel like we can go in and open it up for other contractors in these different cities to be able to get involved with a Man Up chapter in their own areas and be able to use the system and work with these people and the fathers that are wanting to turn their lives around.
Yeah.
It's I that's my vision on it, is to really grow this and make it happen. And if you look at Henny Botis is the owner of Moladi, who developed it
Moladi.
to begin with. Yes, Moladi, he developed it to begin with. And if you look at what his mission is, how it fits into the mission of what we're trying to do here in the U.S., it's a perfect fit.
That's great. So you have this to him, say, hey, this is an opportunity to come to these, to build here, to join up with what your mission statement, Man Up and Go, and really produce something out of combining all of that.
Correct.
That's fantastic.
So,
And go ahead.
no, I was going to just say that our goal right now is to set up a manufacturing facility here in the Tampa Bay area for his system.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. So you'd have to set, you have already that you're going to do. Do you have it worked out with Man Up and Go to bring in the labor force and train them, or is that, hey, we'll get to that later. Now let's just get Moladi going in Florida?
It's both. We're getting Moladi up and running, and we've been holding meetings myself with the Man Up teams, discussing ways to make it work and put it together, and they're excited about it.
Yeah. Oh, I bet. No. Yeah, I bet they are. I bet they're super excited about it. So how hard the mix, is that like a proprietary mix from Moladi, or is that
the admixture is, yes, but you use local sources of your
correct? Yeah.
Sand, cement, aggregates.
Yeah. Okay.
So the only other product is the admixture that goes into to manufacture or producing, I should say, the material that goes into it.
So then you have to have, getting Moladi started in the U.S. is going to look like getting a plant going to the forms, and then getting a plant going for the mixture.
I don't know if we need a plant for the mixture. It's a very condensed material that you dilute it by. So if you took 25 gallons, you'd make up 100 gallons of the mix that goes into your manufacturing or in your mortar. So
that's going to come from overseas.
That hasn't been discovered yet.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Initially, eventually, it makes sense, but it's pretty compact with shipping. So as far as how you're able to expand it, so
yes,
it might even make sense. That's really okay. That's really exciting. Dude, that's pretty ambitious to combine all of those things and jump into this. Especially, look, you had a 10-year succession plan for ACP, and it sounds like you executed on that pretty well.
Yes.
But instead of retiring, you're like, actually, let's start something totally different.
Well, yeah, and I've been working on it for, like I said, about the past 3 or 4 years of all put together and figuring this whole thing out, how to make it work. And so it's taking a little bit of time to come together, but right now we're in for getting the Miami-Dade high velocity hurricane approval on the product, which from testing that Moladi has from other countries, they passed all the different impact thermal testing, and said we have a U.S. company on the mix and on the product, and it's an R28 thermal value to it, which if you take, you being involved in, with masonry block and drywall, and you put all that together, you might get up to a 5 or 6, and then you have to put your insulation on the wall and your furring strips and your drywall. Well, we don't have all that. And so if you look at the amount of construction debris comes out of a multi-family project being built or a home being built. It's incredible. And
Yeah, it is. It really is.
we have that.
No.
We accept our and fill the forms and swim, and
Yeah.
you already have your electric and plumbing chases in the walls, and
Mm-hmm.
then you go in and set up your HVAC system. And
Mm-hmm.
so if you're building a house and you're going to do conventional roof trusses, then you're going to have drywall on your ceiling for that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
on these multifamilies that we've got designed right now, it's all mortar mix and concrete. Floors are a concrete mix because you use a larger aggregate in that.
Yeah.
In the others, it's a mortar. So
That's amazing. That is amazing.
yes,
As you said, you're working this, get it to work this out. How will you know when, hey, this is working? We did it.
oh, it's going to work. There's not a. No, it's already coming together now. So it's
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not that. I'm sure. Will, what are you looking for to say this is it? We met the we set out to do.
Well, the goal is really to we once we start the manufacturing here, we want to open the doors for other contractors to be able to buy the form system from us, and them to develop their own business with building on it. It's not just in doing the building on it. It's truly trying to set up a system to empower the younger people and
Yeah.
be able to provide good, affordable, sustainable buildings for
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So the aspect of it, when again, ICF was the first thing that came to mind when I saw those photos, right? With the forms and filling it, makes you think of concrete. Concrete's not cheap when compared to stick framing, right? It's more expensive to do concrete. How does this proprietary mix with Moladi, how does that compare to stick framing? Where does it fall on affordability?
Our preliminary numbers that were about 20% cheaper price wise. But on the and that's pricing on it. But when you take into the factor of your whole HVAC system is not as large of a system what you need for conventional build, you add that price in, so your thermal efficiency of the building, you don't have all your waste material that you have to haul off and dispose of. Your construction time is much faster than your conventional build. So a lot of advantages to it.
Well, yeah, and you just a lot quicker, less trades have to be involved, more straightforward.
Correct.
Easy, in the labor force.
Your labor rate is much cheaper.
Yeah, because it's not as complicated. I could see that. So we have what we're doing a little bit of something we call the Mod Pod, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this, right? Because by and large, as people all across the world, right? Well, for the most part, with the exceptions of mud huts and what have you, we largely have been building the same way, right? With stick framing. Like that's a pretty common way to build. You cut down some trees, make some 2x4s or whatever, right? And you make a house. Hasn't changed a lot. And you do your MEPs and what have you. What we're doing and what we're trying is something we call the Mod Pod, which is essentially like the heart of the home. It has all the MEPs inside of it. It has the bathrooms inside of it. It's maybe a 10-foot by 20-foot pod. Okay, it has the two bathrooms inside, and it has the water heater and the furnace, and there's a wall with all of the plumbing, the electrical panel that's been landed, and on the opposite side of that wall, what you would do on site is you'd put your kitchen there, right? So everything is in that pod. Have you thought of any sort of a design structure for single-family residences that emulates something similar to that? Does the way I explained it, does that make sense?
No, I understand what you're saying. So you would have all the heart of the home into it, and then build the bedrooms and everything around that. Is that the way that I'm understanding?
Yes. Yeah. Correct. And so all the MEPs are in there, which means essentially everything else is just going to be walls and some electrical wires for the rooms, right? For your lights and each in your plugs, which is not complicated stuff.
Right. That's an interesting idea. Of course, you see more and more modular units being erected currently throughout the U.S., where you bring in these modular units on a truck,
Mm-hmm.
and a big crane that lifts them up and puts them in place, and away you go. With the Moladi system, you erect your plastic forms, fill them full of your mortar, strip the forms, put your rub finish
Mm-hmm.
on them, paint them. So
Yes.
no large equipment needed, no cranes, no transporting in big
Mm-hmm.
truckloads of materials and however distance you have to transport it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
No, great points that you brought there. So this is being that it's only 10 by 20, you're not going to have a large crane.
right.
It's gonna be like actual modular home. That's gonna be 14 by 56 each half, or 16 by 56 or longer.
Right,
Okay,
right.
you're not gonna have many of them too much shorter than that. And so those ones you're gonna have a big crane, get in there, all that stuff. We're trying to avoid that, and so you'll need a small crane, which like a I don't know how many pounds it is, but it's not much. It's not nearly what you'd have to have for such a large modular, and they're simple to ship, being only 10 feet wide.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even need escorts for that. All right, so in a lot of cases, you're not even going to need an escort. So then you reduce those costs, and you have all the MEPs there. And when you do the foundation, you just have a little spot for it to go, maybe a little crawl space spot or a little drop down in the foundation, and it just boom sets in there and really just inserts itself in there. And then you build the walls around it. And you could combine this. See, here's kind of what I'm getting at. You could combine this, or this idea of this Mod Pod, the heart of the home, with Moladi, because Moladi reduces a lot, as we've already spoken, with the labor, with the cost, with the time, right? And then with the heart of the home being in this Mod Pod, you set that there, which again also reduces your labor, reduces your costs, reduces your time. And
Right.
then you do the Moladi system around it. Have you thought of doing something like that? Because
No,
this is in the design of, hey, we want to have affordability.
I think that we'll have to be open-minded to new ideas and new ways of doing things, and certainly looking at the value of doing that with combining it in with the Moladi system certainly has a value to it. And so that's something that I'd be interested in learning more about that with you and see how that could be put together and used. So
Yeah. Yeah. I just mind it's something that we're trying, because again, the way that people have built has been the same way for hundreds and thousands of years and what have you, right? Not a lot of there have been innovations. I shouldn't say there haven't, but like the structure, the sticks and stones is it's literally still sticks and stones, right? Wood framing, you nail everything in, have your different trades come in. So I think there is really an opportunity right now for a groundbreaking way to innovate in the construction industry that's going to change how people build.
yes, I like it. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
and that's it's like looking Melodi's system on how that's put together. That
Mm-hmm.
most people are like, oh wait a minute, wait, that's not how we do. That was my first reaction 10 or 11 years ago.
Yeah.
When I really started getting involved about 3 or 4 years ago, when I really started different and realized how much sense it made to build this way and
Mm-hmm.
the advantages to it. I was like, well, I know I have some hurdles to get around.
Yeah.
Yeah, Henny one time told me, he said, besides being a manufacturer of the stuff, I'm an athlete too, and I'm like, you are, because yes,
Yeah.
I just
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
yeah, uh,
Getting everybody on this, because people build the way they build, and they're like, I'm not going to do any different. What are you talking about? But showing them the value is huge. And once they see the builder sees the value, there it is. Makes sense. All right, let's do it. So we found that to be the case with the Mod Pod. Once we explain it, they go, oh yeah, this makes sense. But we
yeah.
want to do this.
Well, and I really in this in with Man Up and Go and what their missions are, what they're trying to
Yeah.
achieve, and trying to, um, these young men, when they 18 out of the foster care system, there's some
Yeah.
programs that they can stay in a little bit longer. But where do all these people go? How do we end doing affordable housing, which, by the
Yeah.
way, workforce housing? The the workers that are helping build these, their workforce. So you work with them to try to get them into good, safe, affordable homes.
Yeah.
Along with there's over here in the area, Tampa General Hospital, they've got a big development they're doing right now. I think it's 160 units. I might be off on the number that they're planning to go in and to build workforce housing for their workers, and that's a problem. There's these that say that their workforce can't even afford to live in the county where they're working. So
Yeah, that's wild.
we can go in and build workforce housing in these areas.
Yes.
Affordable workforce housing. That's our goal.
Yeah. That, Larry, that's a great stand there. I really appreciate you sharing the vision. I think there's overlap between what you're doing and involved with Moladi and Man Up and Go. Totally support that. Absolutely. When you have fathers in the household, that just makes a difference in so many different ways.
Yes.
I think that's one of the biggest things that would need to change in our nation to really see things shift. When you have a loving father that's really guiding kids on just how to be participants, active, beneficial participants of society, it makes a huge difference. So, and there's overlap with what Moladi is doing and how you're getting things going in Florida. So I support that. Yeah, that's fantastic what you're doing.
Well, that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Grow people.
Yeah. It's what you're not just building houses, you're building people up. You're building families through that. You're building a lot more than just houses.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, great, Larry. Thank you so much. I'd love to follow up with you sometime in the future. It sounds like you're getting things off the ground. What do you think as far as where you'll be in a year?
I think that we'll be in the process of building some multi-family units and family units in Florida as well as in other states. Georgia, state of Georgia, we have people up there that are waiting on us to get things started. They have projects that they want to talk to us about.
They're ready, huh?
That out in California and LA, they've set aside 50 acres to go in.
Wow.
Yes.
They're just waiting. They're like, hey, Larry, come on, just call me when you're ready.
Yes. So, and I encourage anybody that's listening to this, really look at, the opportunities that they could get involved in within their own areas with building some good, strong, sustainable homes that and be empowering the young people in there to grow and learn and finding the avenues that they could get involved in the construction industry and other parts.
Yes.
So yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
No, I agree.
So,
thank you, Larry. Maybe a year from now, we'll check back in the states that you're in and see.
We'll check in then.
Yeah. I'm here for it. Thank you so much for your time today.
Okay, great. Thanks for this. It was kind of different for me, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. We'll see ya.